Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I am going to explain about Java JDK 13 new features. There are few preview features and there are enhancements to the existed APIs. We'll see with examples. Yeah, first one is text blocks. Text blocks are multi-line strings. If you want to write a single line, you can use a string literal to write a single line string, but if you want to go for a multi-line, you can use a text blocks which give more control to the text which we are handling. Let's say if you are writing a HTML, it contains a lot of lines and it contains divs and many strings. So at the time you can go for a text blocks, or if let's say you are writing a SQL query, at the time it comes across multi lines, then also you can go for text blocks. It gives you more control on how you write and you can do better formatting, and you no need to use the escaping sequences. Let me jump to the example. Yeah, this is an example. In normal string, if you want to write multi lines, this is how we have to write. Each line need to be start end with double quote, and we need to concatenate each and every lines. All lines need to be concatenated, and to keep the end of the lines we need to keep slash ends. Yeah, this is how we are writing strings using the string literal. And using the text blocks we can write the multi-line using something like this. Just we need to do is we need to keep a triple double quotes, and in between whatever the text you are keeping is considered as a text block, so that you no need to keep slash ends. You can observe here we kept the slash ends to see the new line, and we have kept double quotes here to avoid the compilation issue, and to escape those double quote we kept slash. This is escaping sequence we kept, but here in text blocks we no need to keep the escaping sequences, and this is how we write the text blocks. And yeah, if you want to keep the dynamic data, you can keep dynamic data using something like this slash, and this one you can use a formatted, and in the formatted you can pass the arguments. This is like if you for the strings you can use the slash s, and you can give something like this. Yeah, see dynamic data we can pass like this in a text blocks. Yeah, this is very useful when you are writing multi lines like a JSON or SQL or HTML or email, whatever. So this is how we write the text blocks. And yeah, coming to the next feature, the switch expressions. We know switch is a statement in Java, and it has been there since Java inception, from Java birth, and switch is imported from C language. So now switch has been improved and enhanced to perform as a switch expression. It resembles like lambda expressions, and notation also similar to the lambda expression. We will see with example. Before that we will see one example of how we write legacy or classic way. This is the existed switch statement, how we write the switch cases. So we write a switch, and in the inside the switch we write multiple cases, and each case will have a break statement, break keyword to break the case to come out the control. If you forget to give the break, it will continue to execute other cases. And finally we keep the default to execute the default statements. And if you want to execute same piece of code for multiple cases. You can write, you have to do something like this. Yeah, I mean, same code we need to keep in multiple cases, and this is how we were writing. Let me show you how we write in switch expressions. Yeah. So let me copy this, and we will convert quickly into Java switch expressions. Okay. Here the problems with existed switch statement was it doesn't return any value. Like each case I am capturing the value and keeping here, and finally I am returning the value. But in switch expressions I can capture a value, I mean switch can return a value, and each case we no need to keep double quote. Now instead of this we can directly return a value here. This is the switch expression, so we no need break and capturing values. Here instead of, we don't use any return statement, but this is how we return a value in a expression. Same way for other we will write. Yeah, I am keeping 2 for keep simple, and let's say if I want to write a multiple cases in a single line, this is how we can write something like this. We can comma separated labels we can keep, and the logic is executed we can keep here, and default is mandatory to execute default cases. If none of the cases executed, default will execute and value will be returned. Yeah, let me remove this text. And if you want to write multi-line cases, you need to keep inside a braces, and whatever the logic you want to write you can keep inside the braces. And to return the value we have to use, instead of return keyword we have to use yield keyword. Yield will be used to return the value, and yeah, this is one line, so we need to keep double quote. Yeah, let me run this one and you will see the output. See, this is how simple it is to write a switch expression. And one more thing, you can write in classic way or using enhanced way. Both ways you can write a switch. So it has a backward compatibility. If you want new features you can use the switch expression. If you don't want, you can go with the classic way using the switch statement. And switch is removing the most of the issues which we have with the classic approach. Let me go to the next. Yeah, file system enhancements. So in file system there has been new methods introduced to treat the content of a file as a file system. So this is enhancements to the existed file system. The API is already existed, and there were 3 new methods introduced. And yeah, next feature is the dynamic CDS archive. CDS in the sense class data sharing, where it will be used. This is when there are multiple JVMs and multiple JVMs use to load the data. In the sense, when Java virtual machines are loaded or Java virtual machines are started, they load some of the data, so the startup data. So that data can be used across all virtual machines to save some time and some memory. So that is called class data sharing. So that is enhanced, and now class data sharing can use archivings. across virtual machines so that it can save some more time and some more memory. When particularly if you are going for smaller applications like IoT applications, this will be used more useful. And coming to ZGC uncommitted unused memory, ZGC is Z garbage collector. It was introduced in Java 11, and the intention of this is to clean up the heap memory. This is a good feature, but the problem is it is after cleanup it is not returning the freed up memory. So this was issue in smaller applications, smaller devices. So enhancements has been done to ZGC to return the uncommitted and unused memory after cleanup, and re-implement the legacy socket API. Yeah, socket API is there since Java inception. From the Java birth onwards, sockets are there, but that never been touched. And Java 13, that has been re-implemented using NIO packages. Yeah, there is a good implementation. If you want, you can go for a old approach, or if you want, you can use new APIs, java.nio packages you can use to get the latest implementation. And there are few miscellaneous and few small enhancements like java.time enhanced to support the Japanese era name, and crypto support has been introduced, and there are other few enhancements. Yeah, that's all about Java 13 enhancements at a glance. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe my channel.